Hello and cheers. It is Friday, April 24th. You're in the Diamond Mine. Danny Diamond here. I'm in vacation mode, folks. So I've got a nice old fashioned here with a maraschino cherry in it. And I am taping the 16th overall video for the Diamond Mine. This is the third edition of Listomania. And we're going to do something a little different this time. I'm not going to do an album ranking as I've already done with Van Halen and the Eagles. I'm going to actually do a Listomania top 10 rock bands. Now, obviously, some of you are going to say, well, where's Rush? Well, Rush falls under a different category, power trios. Some of you might say, where's Iron Maiden? That's going to fall under metal. So many, many lists to come. As I say, this is an obsession, it's a compulsion, and I'm hoping some of you share it with me. So I'm going to do this as I have with the album rankings. I'm going to go from worst to first, but this is my top 10 rock bands, so, all of them are much loved. But I'm not only going to mention the band, but I'm also going to mention the album that introduced me to the band and the year I became a fan, okay? So we're going to jump right into it. I'm trying to be a little bit more concise with these things. At number 10, the Beatles, and the album that introduced me to the Beatles was, of course, Sgt. Pepper's. Classic album. This is the only one where I'm a little unsure of the exact year. I'm thinking it was around 1976. My awareness and fandom of the Beatles began with my parents. They were one of the few rock bands at the time that my parents respected. That changed a little bit as the years went on, and I would share more music with my dad. He started to realize its worth. Same with my mom. Maybe it took her a little longer. I'm not sure. More stories on that to come, but I think that was around 1976. That I got into the Beatles. So obviously Sgt. Pepper came out well before that. In fact, that came out before I was born, and I'm old. Now, the next band, number 9, so my ninth favorite rock band, Boston. And the album that introduced me to them was the debut, as you can see here, incredible cover. Great artwork there. The year that I became aware of Boston was around 1986, and it was, making my way to Page High School in Greensboro, North Carolina, with my friend Randy at the wheel, and we would sometimes have in our car Chris Brown, who was a huge Boston fan, and he's the one who turned us all on to that incredible band via their incredible debut album. Okay, number 8. My 8th favorite rock band, top 10. Now, I'm not saying these are the best. These are just my favorite, okay? This is my top 10 favorite rock bands. So number 8 for me, Eagles. And the album that introduced me to the Eagles would be Hotel California. Now, the album got released in late 1976. The single for Hotel California, which is how I was introduced to it, came out in 77, and my sister bought that single, and she was very kind in sharing it with me, letting me listen to it, and I just listened to that thing over and over and over. So I got in the Eagles in 1977 and been really, really into the band ever since. Okay, coming in at number 7 on my top 10 here, the wonderful, magical Cheap Trick. I've seen them many, many times live, always fabulous. Got to see them in October with my wife. It was her first time seeing them. It was so special, wonderful show. This album is Standing on the Edge, sort of a lesser known album from the band, but has one of my favorite Cheap Trick songs on it, Tonight It's You, and I got into it pretty immediately upon its release because I remember seeing the Tonight It's You video debut on MTV, and so it would have been 1985. Cheap Trick, wonderful band. Okay, I am sure that many 50-year-olds out there would have this band on their list too. I am talking about my number 6, Kiss. And I was around 6 years old when I got into Kiss. And got into the band. There were some kids living across the street from me at the time on Gracewood Drive, the Gressos. There were 3 boys and 1 girl in that family, and all 3 of the boys were incredibly passionate Kiss fans. I can remember going out with them for Halloween one year, dressed as Paul Stanley, the Star Child. But this album, so amazing, so amazing. Let me clear my NFL app. Okay, that was a little interruption. Sorry, folks. I tape this on my phone, so sometimes messages and things pop up and they distract me. But the Destroyer album was the first full-length album that I heard, and I've been hooked ever since. So I've been in Kiss since I was about 6 years old. So my number 5 would be Aerosmith. Now, oddly enough, the first album that I really became familiar with the band was the one and only one not to feature Joe Perry or Brad Woodford prominently. I don't think Joe Perry was on the record at all. I think Brad Woodford was on a track or two, maybe. They kept a few of his rhythm guitars before he jumped ship and followed Perry out the door. But this is a highly underrated record, fantastic record in the catalog. So I got into this in 1982. In fact, you're going to hear every album except the next one I got into in 1982, a critical year as a rock fan for me and my developing musical tastes. Okay, so my number 5, Aerosmith. My number 4, I'm going to mention my sister again. Queen, News of the World. I became aware of the album in 1978 because I had heard it somewhere from a schoolmate, and so my sister bought it for me for my 9th birthday. And in fact, my copy of it is hanging on the wall over there, if you see. But News of the World, Queen, incredible album, great band, very unique band. Album ranking coming soon. Okay, my number 3 band, I've mentioned this before, they're my favorite American band of all time. I've already done an album ranking on them. The album that introduced me to the band was Diver Down, so it still holds a very special place in my heart. And I became aware of this the year of its release, 1982. Okay, so the next album, as were many of these, came into my consciousness via a very fateful Columbia Record and Tape Club shipment, where I think I got 13 cassettes for a penny. I'm sure lots of you that are my age remember the Columbia Record and Tape Club. So, my second favorite band of all time, Led Zeppelin. And the incredible Led Zeppelin 4. Now, no, this is not the year it came out, but the year that I became a fan was via this album, and it was 1982 that I became a fan. Now, you may be hearing a little bit of my favorite band of all time in the background. My favorite band of all time, The Who. The album that introduced me to them was It's Hard. I got the album in that Columbia Record and Tape Club shipment in 1982, the year it was released. I had watched the HBO, I can't remember if it was before or after, but right around the same time that I got the cassette, they had the It's Hard tour special on HBO. And, I've been a fan ever since. And now I do want to tell you all about a gift card raffle that I'm holding to increase my number of subscribers. First of all, I do want to thank all of you. Please pay attention and stay to the end of this video. I'll keep this short, but I do have something to explain to you. I want to thank all of you so much for your views. That has been just amazing. Also, thanks to those that have already subscribed. But that is an area where I am really focusing on increasing my success, subscribers. So, with that in mind, the 20th person who inboxes me on Facebook Messenger, okay, and you can get in touch with me in the comments below if you want to find out how to find me on Facebook. But some of you have been watching are already my Facebook friends. So the 20th person who inboxes me with the correct answer to the two of the three bands I have mentioned whose introductory album for me remains my favorite in their catalog will receive an Amazon gift card for $10. Keep in mind, introductory to me and debut album are not necessarily the same thing, nor are they necessarily different. Deadline for submission is the last minute of May 2020, so you've got more than a month. This could take more than 20 submissions, obviously, because I'm only going to accept correct answers, and it needs to be the 20th person who correctly lets me know two of the three albums that I just mentioned and just showed the picture of still remain to this day my favorite in the entire band's catalog. So, nearly a third, right? Okay, so now this could take more than 20 submissions, obviously. Good luck, and please don't forget to subscribe and send the screenshot with your submission, okay? Because I am trying to just up the level of subscribers here so I can keep the channel going. I'm having a great time. I hope you are. Cheers. I'll be making a lot of videos over this vacation, so we're going to have a lot of fun, and I really, really appreciate all of you.